I'm Hamza Iqbal. I'm in 12th grade and I'm in film SL. A general day in film usually starts off with some type of bell ringer, and it's usually different puzzles and things we try to start off with to look at things in different perspectives in different ways, and that's a main component of film. And Mr. DeLuey tries to cultivate that ability in us as students. And after that, we start to go into more of the film concepts, building on from the bell ringer. It could be anything. It could be watching a film, or we often watch films during class, and we have days in which we do that. And other times we look at film shots, film techniques, different ways that meaning can be communicated in film, and that's the ultimate goal, to learn how meaning is communicated in film. The internal and external assessments mainly are comprised of there's an oral commentary that you do on a specific scene within a choice of 3 movies that Mr. Louis selects from another list. And what we do is usually we get the scene and we analyze it for the cinematographic elements it has in it, and how the directors use it to communicate a story, or allow for the audience to understand the message he's trying to convey using those techniques. And that's what the oral commentary is. Then there's a documentary script in which you also compare 2 directors based off a theme. It could be related to the use of color, the use of light, or even cultural differences. But these 2 films are actually supposed to be from different cultures also. So they would have to have their production company from a different country, each one. So it could be the United States and UK, or India and Pakistan, or a Middle Eastern country, some European country, Latin American country, whatever country, an African country. It doesn't really matter, but the main concept is understanding those multicultural multicultural applications in film by these different directors, and how they use film to portray different things. And then the last one would be our own productions, and this is mostly about understanding the film production process and showing and understanding not only with quality product, because it's understood that not all students will have the greatest quality products given the tools and the equipment they're given. They're not professionals, they don't have money, they don't exactly have the greatest funds to make a blockbuster movie. But to understand that process and try to emulate that type of professional process, and having your production journal set up in that way as you go through usually helps you do really well on that one as well. So those are the 3 main ones: the oral commentary, the documentary script, and the production that you make in a group. So we have watched a lot of films this year, last year. Lots of them were really good in terms of in class or outside of class either. I've been watching a lot of films, and when you go through film class, you really understand the techniques and the ways that the director and the team that makes the movies makes the films, and you can appreciate it even if the film isn't necessarily the best. However, recently, the most recent one I watched was Logan, and that one, its employment of cinematographic techniques was really good. And even enjoying some of the classical ones that Mr. DeLuey always makes us watch or rewatch in class, and that I'd like to give him a lot of credit for that, because he exposes us to things we weren't familiar with, and like some more of the classic movies that some of us that are kind of born later don't really get to experience. And because of his exposing these movies like Rashomon by the Japanese director Akira Kurosawa, and other ones that can be from different cultures and people haven't engaged with them yet, he brings them in and we get to engage with them, and I think that's one of my favorite things about it. Well, we really like watching movies because watching movies is watching movies. That's obviously fun, but there's different parts of film that are fun. Making the production can be a bit like a bit of a hassle, but once you get like rolling, and when you get your final product and watching your final products, that's really fun. Looking at other students' films and critiquing them. We usually are harsh on each other, so we usually shut other students down. Not necessarily our own class, but like there's other IB films we watch as well. That's pretty fun to watch. Especially with reactions and harsh criticism from the students. But watching movies is usually one of the best parts of film, obviously, but also recognizing the techniques that the directors use and the production teams for films use to basically make the audience understand their message or the theme, or a theme, like a dynamic theme that they're trying to communicate through film, realizing all of that when you watch a film. For example, my documentary script is going to be about Lawrence of Arabia compared to another movie called Lion of the Desert, and both of those movies employ like amazing soundtracks and dynamic cinematography, and realizing that and appreciating that is really something enjoyable. DP film, like all things in DP, is a challenge, obviously, because DP is overall a challenge to any student, especially an IB student, and they do try to challenge not only the way you think, but the way in which you try to understand knowledge. Lots of the 1 Class 3 of knowledge, how it applies to all these different subjects and how they interact with each other and the different ways of knowing. DP film is challenging in that way that to understand the meanings and symbolism and different concepts, it can be a bit challenging. I think that once one grasps those ideas and tries to gain more make it more easier for them to enact them and apply them. It's not that it's hard, it's a challenge only if you make it into a challenge. You can, for film, I think it's fun, so I mean, it's not like that type of challenge that when you do it, you feel like you don't want to, you're just tiring and you don't want to do anymore. It's enervating. Instead, like film is more one of those classes where when you're doing something, it might be challenging, but you still enjoy yourself while you're doing it.